All right. Hello, everybody. Um, and welcome to this rather sudden stream. But I was asked to do this to show like how I start a YouTube video in terms of editing. So I figured that we'll see how this goes. And I know I've done this once before, but it was for Tyler here actually. Um, I I don't think I've ever done it otherwise. So we'll see if it's just good to see how these things go. Um, but first, we always start with a beer. Um, and today's beer will be a Founder's Dirty Bastard. So, here we go. There we go. Yeah. So, the tell effect history. Okay. Well, an interesting thing about the topic that we're going to be covering today, which is the Trial of the Chicago 7, is that it's often called the Trial of the Chicago 8 because it starts off with Bobby Seale, the leader of the Black Panthers, well, one of the two, Bobby Seale and forgetting the name of the other guy, um, and the um, but because of what happened during the trial, he ended up getting bound and gagged and not being allowed to have any kind of representation or represent himself or anything along those lines, and so he got severed from the trial, making it the Chicago 7. So that's why it's Trial of the Chicago 7, not Trial of the Chicago 8. But actually, one of the videos that we'll be using as footage will be a movie called Trial of the Chicago 8. Fred Hampton was not one of the two leaders of the Black Panthers. He was only a Chicago leader, Tyler. And Dan, no, it's not a freeze-up glass. It's just regular glass. Anyways, so I figured I would start editing today. And you guys get to see like all that goes into just starting to edit, rather than being halfway through and seeing that editing part. Huey P. Newton, that's the one. But yeah, the interesting thing here will be whether or not this is helpful, because I actually have like a lot of automations that I use at the beginning, which you guys will see in here in just a little bit. So, if you have any questions on what I'm doing throughout the process of this, let me know. We'll see that, building up an actual timeline is complicated and will involve a lot of different pieces. So, with that, without any further ado, let me show you how much automation I actually have on this. So, just looking at a blank desktop, right? Because we haven't even started the project. So, literally, everything opens one button. Boop. Wait, did it? Uh-oh. It didn't press all the stuff. Oh, I didn't press it correctly. There we go. But you can see I have a bunch of windows that open, a bunch of folders that have to open, and just for good measure, let's also open Photoshop and Vidly. Um, Vidly is what I use to rip YouTube videos, but that'll stay over here on the other side. Um, Dan, I'm doing fine. Um, how long have I used Premiere Pro? Ever since the beginning. I've used Premiere Pro. Like I literally started with Premiere Pro back in 2013. So I've been using Premiere Pro all along. Um, hey, look, there's the actual like outline for that we're using right now. um, yeah, well, I hope that this will be helpful, Tyler. Um, so first things first, you'll see that I have like a whole bunch of pre-made stuff. Oh yeah, and the power went out last night, so I had to restart. So I actually have to have this little script running in the background to make certain sliders not stick in Premiere Pro. It's kind of annoying, but it's just a thing that you have to have. Um, but you can see, like, this is my normal editing folder. This has like all the visuals that I that I use all the time. So you know you'd recognize all of these. Um, then you have like just random memes, for instance. Um, I sometimes use these. For instance, there's the famous angry moth noises, um, and stuff like that. Um, even and then we have random random stuff. So like for instance, you might recognize this from some thumbnails. Here's character stuff. So like here is let me get back to OBS. Here is the um, like the kazoo covers, for instance. Here's the thing that I use for crypto, for instance, when he comes in. Goes. And that's actually just me playing kazoo. um, and the so you have like, there's also like the Soviet kazoo one. And, this is where I keep all the assets for that kind of stuff. Um, here's like all the historians and stuff. I have a little folder just called Silly Willy for all my Woodrow Wilson kind of things. Um, wait, is that a Wilson? Wilson. Oh yeah. um, I forgot that I had that. This was actually AI generated by Dan over here in the comments. He was just screwing around with AI generation, and it's like, it's it's too perfect. Um, these are just the ones I made. I did not obviously didn't make that one, but you know, things like that. Let's see here. And plenty of other things in random, like you know, symbols that you end up using all the time and stuff like that. Green screen explosions, the demonetization symbol, that kind of stuff. Um, then in let's get back to having the music in here. Um, then there is symbols. I mean, that's literally just the symbols. Why is it taking so long? Come on, you can load. Oh my god, why is it taking so long? Yeah, so this has all the symbols in that. In fact, you can see like, oops, wrong one. Here's like the outline we're using right now. I just made with, Photoshop. Um, yeah, here's like all my avatars for um uh for Twitter, you know. just random stuff that I made. Um, yeah, Ryan Bros is amazing with with he has a quick turnaround in terms of making memes. This is where all the thumbnails are, so you can see, like just organized by time. It's actually time I created it rather than time it was released. You can see that there's still a few that aren't released. For instance, this will be coming out in 2 weeks. Um, and uh, well, this will be coming out next Thursday, and this will come out 2 weeks after that. Um, and I just finished. Oh yeah, here's the thumbnail for the social construct one. That's gonna take a while before I can release it. Um, the Patreon. What do you mean the cleanup? Oh, you mean the cleanup of the comments, the purge party, I like to call it. um, yeah, the purge party for this one's gonna be pretty gnarly. I guarantee it. um, and it's gonna be a big episode. That one's like 50 minutes with all the additions and everything that I'm gonna be doing. Okay, and the last folder in here is all, like, I just keep a bunch, I don't know if you guys can really read the text, but these are just movies, like useful movies. Like, here's the America in Color series. You see me use this stuff all the time. So, like, uh, we'll be talking about the 1960s, so this will definitely be used.
Get out of control.
It's a documentary that I just pull clips from. Really useful, right? So just useful to have that kind of stuff. There's other movies that are just there because I use them a lot. Like here's Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Um, you know, gotta love using that. And just plenty of other things that, like Birth of a Nation is in here. That comes in super useful, Um, so yeah, I have a music folder for this stuff as well. Um, that's out. That obviously not in graphics. That's here. I use Epidemic Music. We'll get into later at figuring out what music works for what. But I have to actually start the project first, so we'll get to the music folder later. But main thing is need this one here. So let's create the project, shall we? Always give them a very short name. This one will probably best is just Chicago 7. And we'll give the sequence it the same name. So, why is, there we go. So a lot of the beginning of making a video is just populating the media folder. So, I have all the media right here. Don't need that. And just putting it all in here. But since this is all done by voiceover, I'm gonna drag this onto the timeline. And then these 3 movies can go right here. Now it's gonna take a little while to do what. Oh no, one of them's an MKV. Oh no. Oh, that's super annoying. So I have to convert a video now. That's super annoying. That's gonna eat up some of my graphics power. Oh well. can't be helped. I definitely need this movie because it's the it's the based off of the autobiography of one of the key people in this movie. Um, so let me set up that real quick. I'll make sure all the settings. Is this a 720 grip? I don't need it at 720. I can do it. I can use it at. I mean, I need it at 720, not 1080. So convert it to 720. Makes it easier to edit. Same as source and constant. We'll keep the audio, but not not the subtitles or chapters. And that should be good. Alright, well, while it's doing that, we'll set up all of these. So, I have to first open up the actual script, because script has footnotes. Although I don't think there's any footnotes in the actual script this time. Yeah. Normally I just, like, for instance, here's the racist social construct one. And the yeah, editing is annoying. Getting started isn't bad. It's once you start having to hear the sound of your own voice over and over again. That's the annoying bit. Alright, so first of all, you can see I have a massive bibliography on that one. But, and by the way, the stuff in bold is stuff I'm going to add. But you can see, like, these have the actual, like, footnotes already built in. You can see, minus the bibliography footnotes, which are 12. That means that this thing has 38 footnotes. In the actual video has 38 footnotes. So this one's actually pretty rigorous. Yeah, I put a lot of effort into the into researching this one. Hence why the bibliography is so long. How long are your scripts usually? I mean, my videos themselves vary in by huge amounts. If we go to YouTube Studio here real quick, go to content, we'll see. And by the way, that racist social construct thing already limited ads, just the preview version. Although it might be because there's some boobs in there and I need to blur out the boobs. It's, you know, early 19th century paintings, but you know, apparently that's too lewd for YouTube. Can't have art ruining frickin', you know, the talk about race. Anyways, you can see here that, like, my videos, I should probably make it bigger. My videos range by a huge amount in terms of, like, how long they are. Like, you know, 7.5 minutes, 44.5 minutes, 10.5 minutes, 29 minutes, 23 minutes, 23.5 minutes, 17.5 minutes, some shorts, 27.5, 30.5, 20, 21, 13. So it's not like there's any particular average length or anything, because it's just all over the place. Plus, some of them, like this one, didn't have a script. It just had an outline of, like, points I wanted to make, you know? So, the, yeah, that's, I can't really give you an answer there, besides it's just a complicated thing. And Dan, I'm glad you're rereading that. Uh, I was actually not too satisfied with that book, but we'll leave that discussion for the book talk. Um, anyways, you can also see I've been having some sort of glitch in um, YouTube Studio. I don't know why, but it flickers now. Don't know what it like. See how it flickered right there? Like I don't get what's going on there, but whatever. I might have to clear my cookies again. Um. Anyways, we got that open. Handbrake is taking its sweet time. Um, we'll move this all the way over here. I also use stock footage a lot, so like this is where I go and find all of it. I get Wikipedia pictures all the time, and then there's Google Images that I search a lot. And sometimes it's useful to also have this open. Where is it? Editing and tiny URL, which this is like a reverse image thing that's like really useful. So I'll just put that over here for now. But I'll keep it minimized. Yeah, the FBI story version of it is pretty bad. The FBI story movie, FBI story movie, is actually called The FBI Story. Like that's the actual title. It's pretty terrible and very clearly like propaganda. Alright, so let's start populating this timeline. Let me turn off the background music so that you guys can hear everything. Well, did I zoom in too far? Ah, yes, did. Now, sometimes I have something right here, which is like bloopers for the end of it, but I don't actually remember if this is bloopers. For here. Yep, that's that's outtakes. um, so obviously I've already edited all the audio because that would be boring to watch. But you guys can figure out how to do how to edit audio. It's pretty easy. Redeemed show King. Oh, dude, I I can't show King right now because he just had his food dispenser go. I think. Let me go see if I can find him real quick. Hold on. Okay, yeah, sorry, I can't show him while he's eating. Like that would be rude to interrupt him eating. I think his food dispenser just went off, so he went running to go get it, just as you use that. But he normally comes out and does this little stretchy thing where he comes right up next to me and like stretches, so I'll grab him then. Um. Anyways, so for these like outro parts, what I do is I create a second timeline and rename it clipping, and that way I have this one little part that just has all the King interrupting me. He really doesn't like it when I start recording. William Kunstler and Leonard Leonard William and there's me like having terrible time with names. Oh, he's done eating. Hold on. I will. Here he comes. Oh, stay here. Oh no, he ran. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go grab him. Somebody really didn't want to be picked up. It's okay, boy. It's like, why have you done this to me? I was in one place, and now I am in another. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Can I get a kitty kiss? Hmm? Can I get a kitty kiss? There we go. Good boy. Good boy. It's midterms week already? Really? Huh. Um. CJ. Yeah, I struggle with names all the time. Um it's kind of a whole thing. Anyways, now that King has graced us with his presence, let's get back to editing. So, what we'll do now is cut out all the extra stuff that's right there, because that will go on in the end. And that's why I have like this clipping sequences so that I can shove clips in there. It's kind of like a reservoir, I guess, a reserve place to put edits. Um, and now I believe this is right where it says like, "Hey, Cipher here."
Hey, Cypher here.
There
The
we go.
trial of the
Okay. So what we'll do there is we'll drop in the standard little beam thing and my we quickly just type in that and a pre-made 1080 thing that is perfectly placed. It's useful to have these kinds of like pre-made things so that you don't have to do the edits over and over again. So notice how that is like already perfectly in place. I don't have to do anything. It's just a PNG that I drop in. Super useful to have that kind of stuff. I highly recommend it if you are doing any kind of editing that you have something ready like that. Um, so we'll have it fade in and we'll have my guy whip in. So these are just effects that we're adding to like you see how he comes whoosh, you know, wee.
Hey, Cypher here. The trial of
Okay. So that's the introduction of the character. Then we need to go to here and find the poster of that. Um, and what I do is that when I start a folder like this, um, I actually uh, put stuff in separate folders and I just label them 1, 2, 3 as I'm going along the timeline. Because it's real easy to just have a crap ton of imagery that you'll totally forget is even there. Um, so that's why it's useful to label it 1, 2, 3 as you're going along. If you want to be more precise, like actually naming the folders and that, be my guess. But like that's too much work. Um, so we'll hit save as, then save that in the folder. We're definitely going to need this because that was really useful. Um, and we'll need this. And then we just drag and drop what we need onto the timeline. See? Super easy. Okay, so oh yeah, US Chicago. Did you actually, was this the first time you, I think you already said this, but I don't remember. Was this the first time you had COVID? Cause you know, first time. Uh, Now how? ZJS, how I did do the whip effect? Is that what you're asking? Um, so the whip effect is actually just a default effect. You can see it's a little thing right here on in uh in Premiere. So all you have to do to add it is that you just add it to the end of a clip, and boom, you got a
safer here.
transition thing. See?
Here,
Whee!
here, here.
Real easy. The crossfade. So how do I do the crossfade thing? That's also one of those standard effects. Um, I use crossfade as my default. So on Premiere Pro, you can set default transitions. So if I wanted to transition between these two rather than just a standard cut, I could press Control D, and it shows up as a crossfade. So you'll see the background crossfade into the Chicago. See how it crossfades like that? Uh, Super useful transition. That's why I always keep it as my default. Um, but you know, I try to use regular cuts as much as possible rather than always transitioning. Transitions are supposed to mean something, you know. Um, what's an easy way to find full-length congressional legislation? Trying to that would be super easy. For instance, something that would have a Wikipedia, like the 1915 Siemens Act, literally has Wikipedia on it, and then boom, there's the full thing. Um, Here, let me open it in another thing, and yeah, here's the PDF of it. Ta-da! There's the whole thing. You can also, you also could see, oops, I didn't mean to close that. You can see the statute at large, since it's composed of two different public laws rather than a singular act. So you have both of them right here. So yeah, it's super easy to find that kind of stuff, especially when there's a Wikipedia on it. But like, you can also find it by just going to U.S. Law um, .gov or something like that, or GovTrack or something like. You just type in the name of the act and it'll come up um, on Google. Super easy. Um, yeah. Anyways, um, so now we have to. So this is the problem with editing is that you have to listen to yourself constantly. So
7 had so much potential.
you can tell I'm kind of disappointed with it. Also, notice that I'm not putting in the background music yet. We'll put the background music on once we get here,
Reality.
because right here is the introduction. So um, the little graphic thing. That's why you see that little cut right there um, in the sound. And since I have a particular way of doing it, I always try to make that work backwards. So hence why we're not putting any background music on there yet, but there will be. All right. So
The court transcript is replete with drama.
okay, so I'm going to need um oh, I already have the thing downloaded for that, but we'll do a bit of a breathing animation. So as you can see, I'm kind of zooming in a bit, try to keep that N visible, and boom. Then for the court transcript, oops, I'll just take a picture of the cover of the court transcript for the edited
Is
version.
replete with drama and easy to adapt. Yet this movie
And so to continue with the breathing animation, here we will blur the background, which is just the actual cover. We'll move it up slightly. So when you're doing this kind of view where you have you know a vertical thing, it's useful to have don't just leave the background blank. And I tend to just use the thing itself, but uh, you want to use that blur to actually focus on something. So whatever is being blurred there is what people will naturally get in there, um, pay attention to when they are. Did I?
script is replete with drama and easy to adapt. The court transcript is replete with drama.
Yeah, that's enough. And we'll move that that blurred background slightly up further so that people focus on what we want them to focus on, which is the picture. And yes, MSE, it is. This is basically a sneak peek. Uh, but this is actually just me working. um, hold on a second. Something's wrong with my audio. I think it's just this. There we go.
To adapt. Yet this movie fails at it. I don't know what went
Something's wrong with my audio. Hold on a second, guys.
wrong here, but it was a tremendous letdown.
The cord on this thing is starting to go out, so I have like one ear that isn't quite working. That's annoying. Um, okay, so now we can actually use footage from the movie itself. And something you have to do when showing a movie, I actually got this requested from directly from Steven Spielberg's studio once, is that they want a watermark on these things so that people can't just steal clips um, from your review. So I use this little watermark and we'll put it on everything. And we'll put it here. In fact, let's go up one more. There we go. And I put that little black background because if you don't put the black background in there, see how the symbol like doesn't work, gets like uh gets darker. I don't know why, but like one black is different from another black apparently. Um, Even though they're literally the same shade. The background black and the black screen that I'm using, the black uh, image I'm using right here, where it's just black. That's all it is. It's the deepest, darkest black you can get, and for some reason, there's a difference between that and transparent black, which is that. I don't know why Premiere Pro is like that. I only noticed it a while ago, but it is super annoying if you don't do it, if you don't put a black image in the background. Um, so now we just and this requires remembering oh, and I need my notes. Ah, come here. I need my notes. And it's super useful if to uh, to actually like take notes and everything so that when I'm doing this kind of thing, I can go and find the clips I'm looking for. Um, so let's see here. 1.43.30. So, oh, it was like right there already. Come on. I want I want to see them actually bursting through the window. Oh, that'll work. So you're just looking for applicable clips.
Movie fails at it. I don't know what went wrong here, but it was a tremendous letdown. I've been trying.
And then this is talking where I'm what I'm talking about here on the script. I am just talking about like other based on a true stories. So what I will do now is create a little graphic to show my most recent based on true stories.
But my patrons voted for. But
And it'll be pretty short. So we'll just go one by one on here. Do do do. Well, I'm on here. I'm saying like I'm trying to watch movies that I want to actually watch, and then the first one is Woman King. It's like, yeah, that one sucked. Uh, so we'll just skip over that. And we'll make this 60. Put it over here. It's 450, and then I think 300 is correct. Yeah, 300. Um, and then we put on the next one. Do do do. Half. I have not done a lot of based on the true stories recently. Wow, is it really the last duel? Is the last one that I liked? Oh no, it was Casino. I just remember these are in order of when I created them, not when I released them. Casino. Do do do. I didn't particularly like Frida, but I'll include it here anyways. And then let's see here, what's the next one? Ooh, John Brown. I like that one. Oh, skipped one. Do 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 do. American Animals and Richard Jewell. All right, I think that's enough. So then we'll resize them and put them in their place. 450, 800. Oh wait, that's the wrong order. Oops. So it should be last duel. 450, 800, 60. There we go. And we'll just move that American Animals one somewhere else. Um, this one will go on the top row, and that's going to be, let's see here. Right there would be good, so 1300. You have to remember where the pixel count is because that will allow you to line everything up correctly. Uh, see how it makes a perfect grid? It's being hidden behind Richard Jewell there, but you know, whatever. Um, main thing is you can see uh, that these are going somewhere. 100, 300. So this one will be 2100. Oops, wrong one. So 2100 and 800 resize to 60. And then I have to move the whole thing over. And we'll bring American Animals over here. It's already in place. And put it at 2900? Yeah, that's good enough. 2900, 360. It's a lot of memorizing numbers. Just a lot of memorizing numbers as part of this stuff. Alright, and for all that work, that's all of like, what, 4 seconds? So we'll have that slide on over like that. And we'll make it seem like it keeps going and going, but it'll cut right before. So you can see
I've
what all
been
that
trying to
comes.
focus on good movies, but my patrons voted.
See what I did there? All that work for just that very simple thing. Now, since I'm talking about a Patreon poll, I'm going to take a screenshot of it. Maybe I should remove my vote. I wish Patreon had like a dark mode or something. Yeah, I don't think there's a dark mode. Super annoying. How do you do the sliding effects? I'll show you. I'll show you again what I just did there. Hold on. Do do do. Here we are. The heck is? It's a new button. I don't care about AI. Please leave me alone with that BS. And then we'll whip pan to that.
But my patrons voted for this.
Okay, so ZJ, you're asking how I'm doing this slide effect right here, right? Um, so that's just done by changing the position of the actual graphic. So you can see here, this is one position, you know, the starting position, and then over here, although it's in the whip, so we'll move that so it's not in the whip. That's where it ends, and you just put these little keys all the way to. I think they're called keys. I don't know what these things are called. Um, but you put them at the beginning and end, and that's how you get that slide effect. Easy peasy, right? Also, I have a keyboard shortcut for this, but you'll also want to remember to ease out for when you're starting. That's how it does that kind of slow start, and ease in for the end if you want it to. In this case, I don't want it to, so don't do that here. But um, I uh, that's how I get that slow start to the slide. Um,
I've been trying to focus on good movies, but my patrons
and there you go. That's how you do it.
for this on Patreon. Honestly, I wish I could have just thrown it aside.
And for that, we'll just put like we'll find some stock footage of somebody throwing something in the trash. There you go. That'll do. Just put that there. And we'll use this. So what I'll do is
Wish I could have just thrown it.
key that with the thing. So same thing with the slide. Here we're just going to um, move this with the piece of paper there. Oops.
Wish I could.
Okay, that went in an odd angle because you got to do this all as angles. Let me move it. There we go. I just realized this is not the best way to do it. I should just get some clip art. And we'll do I wanted a bin. Maybe like paper bin? There you go. That's what I want. Need a background. We'll just make it white. that nice and big and hide the bottom of it.
Could have just thrown it aside.
And then we'll just steadily deposit the movie in the waste bin. There you go. And we'll bring it up here and easy edit. Just wee.
Could have just thrown it aside. When in 1987,
It's such a stupid edit, but it works.
made for TV movie outdoes this well funded production,
There I am talking about the other movie. That's why I put it at the top here. I don't think this one has... Oh, hey, it does. Cool. Now, normally, by the way, I have all these on a second screen, so I could just drag and drop. But because obviously I can only share one screen at a time, um, I am, a little bit slower.
'87 made for TV movie outdoes this well funded production. You know something is amiss.
Let's get some footage of the actual ride. Come on, where is it? There we go. And that one needs to be resized because I believe it's 480. So you go 225. Boom. There you go.
TV movie outdoes this well funded production. You know something is amiss. The true story is very compelling.
Alright, and that's one where I'm going to go and find some actual footage of the riot, which I believe I can find in here, specifically on the 1960s. Okay. That's his acceptance speech. That's 1969. Are they not showing the...
And the surging death toll among troops and civilians.
Okay, well, then this is one of those ones where I'd have to go to the National Archives. But luckily, I have that saved right here. Uh, should have, like 1968, I guess, maybe? That'll come up. Yeah, that's 1974. Oh, come on. You gotta have footage of maybe Chicago Riot? Why is it some of these are not even from the National Archives. What the heck? No, I want it from the National Archives. Chicago riot. That's weird. What the heck? Chicago. Uh. Democratic National Convention? Sometimes it's hard to find footage. Chicago, 1968. Yeah, sometimes you just have to go to like a news agency. Um, Here's C-SPAN. But they got that stupid lower banner thing. ZJ, I have no idea. This looks like the most clean footage.
I proudly accepted the Democratic nomination.
In Chicago.
So we were for peace. We were for ending the war.
Of war and body counts and assassinations.
Yeah.
With thousands of Chicago cops and National
There
Guardsmen.
we go. That's what I wanted to see.
A flammable mix on Michigan Avenue.
Oops.
That would later be called a police riot.
Yeah, that'll work. And that's why I have that little downloader that I pulled up earlier. So I'm just going to download it. Seeing it just by copying the URL, it comes up. But I'm going to download it as 720 rather than 1080. Sometimes it's also you can also find stuff on the Library of Congress. So let's try that. We don't want that. We want video. Doopy doo. Most of these are oral histories or speeches. Wish there was a way to say like not oral history. I don't want video of oral history. I want like, you know. Oh, there's kind of something. Maybe that? Nope. Yeah, it's just random people talking about it. It appears. Let's go one more down. Yep, all oral histories. Funny thing is, you can actually find me on the Library of Congress doing an oral history. Ta-da! There I am. Says right there on the Library of Congress. Um, this was recorded back in 2015 when I was doing some oral histories. So I did, well, I had one done of myself so I could learn about the experience. And now it's officially in the Library of Congress. Anyways, um, but let's go back to Chicago, 1968. Chicago. Uh, and we might go with photos. Yeah. Wish there was a way to say color photos, but you know, it's what we get. That's not really gonna help because I need to put in riot. And there's hardly anything there. Great. National Archives aren't helping me. The freaking C-SPAN has got their stupid watermark in the way.
As we reported to you earlier, and this, we remind you, 45 minutes, an hour or more ago. and the streets of Chicago rules for the purpose of adjournment.
Sometimes you can just go straight to C-SPAN and get that without the watermark. What is the thing? C-SPAN. Forgetting .org. Doopy doopy doo. Is this just like the entire convention? No, it's a reminiscence. What do they call it? '68 DNC Chicago.
But for some of those, to look at what was happening at the who had not selection process.
Nope, not what we're looking for. This is really the hardest part of editing, is just finding footage.
A former aide to First Lady Hillary Clinton, now the...
First thing I see this morning in your show is the lineup.
Convention. Up next on C-SPAN, a little bit of video we're going to share this evening before the convention.
No, that's 1992. Come on. I very clearly wrote 1968. William F. Buckley, like I want anything from William F. Buckley. No. Something about reflecting on the Chicago Convention. Let's see here.
Any freedom. And I remember my grandmother, who was a big Humphrey fan, feeling...
Nope. That's super annoying. Oh wait, this one looks like it's archive
the night
footage.
that Vice President Humphrey was to receive security reasons, would be unable to shoot the initial provocation,
this is exactly what I
which
want.
authorities later claimed started the bloody battle at Balboa and Michigan Avenue. But whatever the reason, a clash did occur,
I don't need that to
and this
1080.
is what it looked like. It speaks for itself.
But that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Also, apparently the conversion is done for the other movie that I downloaded for this. Let me go get that. Oh, hello, Osage Orange. Thank you for rating. By yourself, but thank you nonetheless. Let's see here. And we're going to import that video. Funny thing is, I actually haven't seen Steal This movie. I need to watch it, but I figure I know his story well enough that I know how to just navigate through it.
And we didn't win every...
Yeah. So, that will also be useful for footage. And we can delete that one. But let's bring in the two downloaded clips as well. Actually, those should go in the main folder because I'm going to end up using those, especially from the archives one. That one's going to be super useful. Most of it is just cops milling around. There we go.
Down Balboa Street, and the crowd is running.
You gotta love the cameraman just sitting there like, what the hell is happening, man? keep that watermark since it's actually NBC.
Because the 10 people on the defense team the 10 people on the defense team became martyrs for freedom of speech.
And that's one that we should find a photo of the actual people. Um, oh, look at that. We have like drawings from the actual thing on, and since it's in the actual Library of Congress here, it's free to use. You can just download this stuff. Oh no! But full online access to this resource is only available at the Library of Congress. God damn it. What's the point of having this stuff on here if I'm not able to just download it? Come on. They're, and when they say at the Library of Congress, they literally mean you have to go there to download this. No. Come on. Really? No way. Oh, even that? Alright, this is one that I might be able to pull up on tinyURL. Well, I tried. It was like, yeah, I found a bunch of matches at the freaking website you just went and got it from. Thanks. It's so useful. Why do they do that? Maybe if I search image with Google. Sometimes that comes up with stuff. Oh, yeah. See? There you go. Wait, that's not the verdict sketch, though. What is that? Yeah, a lot of this job is literally just looking through imagery. Um, Instead of doing visually similar, let's just do it this way. Of course, safe search is off. Why wouldn't it be? Um, in fact, I'm going to create a whole different folder for the sketches. Because I don't know which is going to be which. That's when Bobby Seale was bound and gagged. Oh, see, that wasn't even actually the frickin' trial. See, that's the problem with these things. Wait, that's... yeah, that's... okay. It's hard to keep track of everything. Some of these I recognize. And this one would be good because it shows like people looking. Ah, that doesn't look like any of them. That looks like, is this from, oh, this is from a movie. Well, that's it. Let's just try without the sketches. There we go. We'll use one of these. They took a bunch of pictures outside the thing trying to get it right. You always gotta love it when you find multiple versions of the same picture. This might also, maybe if I put Chicago 7. No, Chicago 8? Nope. Chicago Trial. A lot of editing is really just looking for this kind of stuff. Ah. All right. Well, we'll just go with one of these pictures. This one looked best.
For freedom of speech as a result of this trial.
Then get that breathing animation in there.
Of speech as a result of this trial, and not just the I want to say slurs on people's platforms nonsense.
Oh, I know exactly what thing I want to. What you guys might know this one. What is that stupid like far right rally thing that they were like, where it's a commercial of a bunch of like racists taking duct tape off of their mouth? What is that? You know, it has like Stefan Molyneux on there and some other. What is that? I want. I want to know what it is. Huh. Apparently this happened 5 years ago. I want to use that. It's on IMDb. Thank you, Tyler.
Diversity, because I think for the mainstream media that tends.
Well, that just has the picture. I want the actual. What? Whatever. We'll just go with frickin' somebody angrily typing. Oh, no, even better. I know what we can use. We'll use the angry moth noises thing. Everybody loves that one. Day of Freedom was okay. Maybe I can find that. Day of Freedom. Let's just try that. Yeah, I'm not finding it. So back to the angry moth noises thing. We'll size that up to there, 175. And then just, what? There we go. Easy.
Not just the I want to say slurs on people's platforms nonsense. No, the real kind of free speech, as in the right of the people to peaceably speech.
And let's see here. Is that Jimmy Carter?
He said, you can tell him that I'll help you get the nomination. I'll help you get elected president.
What is Jimmy Carter? He wasn't at the 1968 thing, was he?
Daley was there to meet him, and the mayor had Carter's ear for a long time after that. The two Democrats rode to the city together and met privately for at least 15 or 20.
What was Jimmy Carter doing at the frickin' 1968 DNC? Sometimes I get on these random tangents, but he made a speech, I guess. Okay. Okay, this just starts with the riot. Oh, that's good footage right there. Right there, that's perfect.
In Grant Park, across the street from the now hated Hilton Hotel. The
Cut out the thing with that guy's face. And remember, you always have to put a black background, like so. And then we will resize the clip. And I believe I am literally just quoting the First Amendment there. Wow, I didn't actually footnote that. Oh well, probably should have, but it's the First Amendment. Oh, I don't have my text styles in here yet. So I'll show you guys something cool that I have set up. I have text styles that are like pre-made so that all my default text styles can just be imported like that. Boop. And then, boom, I have my regular text styles. Super useful. And then let's just make sure that I get the let's see here. Adopted 1791. Put that as italic, and it's Carter's 99th birthday today. Wow. And then we'll put a background on it to make it look good. There you go.
To free speech, as in the right to free speech. No, the real.
There we go. And then everything's perfectly lined up with the cut. See?
Kind of free speech, as in the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition. The government for a redress of grievances. The Nixon administration tried to silence protesters, and they went to prison for it.
Oops. Whoa, no, don't open that. Let's see here. So there I'm talking about Nixon's AG. So I need to remember who that is. Nixon, Attorney General. Mitchell, that's it. And I have a feeling I can find some of him on the National Archives. Well, I can find him, but that's not when I want him. Let's let's find a picture of him then with Nixon. Oh, that's perfect. It almost looks like they're scheming. There was an entire Starz TV series called Gaslight about him. I remember that. But yeah, I'm not gonna try to download that right now.
Like patriots. To silence protesters and
Oh, and this might be a good time to bring in stuff from the Conspiracy of the Chicago 8 because that has like actual footage of the people.
But for the purpose of showing the...
Let's see here. the HBO show is very experimental but really fun.
There's too many pigs here. Let's go to the Hilton. So we went north of...
Let's go to their sentencing. That'll work. A lot of the time it really is just trying to find good footage and like whatever works, you know?
protesters, and they went to prison for it, like patriots. They turned the court into a circus because there was no other way to redress their grievances.
And we'll keep using that footage.
Showing what proper civil disobedience looks like.
And we'll and that'll be good enough. There. Now, oops, what did I just do? Oh. Now, we're going to add in the intro. So, there's two pieces to that. There is, let's see here. Jab at Snowden? What do you mean, Snowden? True. Up there. So you have the intro right here, and then need this background. So you import both of these, and first that, and then two of these. Then I'll cut those down significantly. Give this a little bit of, oh yeah, and then also it'll have this as well, because this is going to be where it does the reality section. Okay, so now you can see how I do each bit of this. So first, here's the title for the reality section. That just goes right there, like that. Then here we put the actual title of the episode. So that goes in red, and it'll say oh, Matthew, yeah, it might be. I don't know if that's really a jab directly at Snowden, but it maybe subconsciously. Um, the whole point of civil disobedience is that you take the punishment for your actions. Um, and Snowden definitely didn't do that. Let's see here. Is it the trial of the Chicago 7, or is it just trial of the Chicago 7? I don't remember. Trial. Doo-doo-doo. It's the trial. And it was 2020 when it released. And then this is the series name, so that gets italicized. And boom. Then we have to cut right here, and this is where they'll have the Patreon stuff. Made it a little too long. So cut that down to size a little bit. And this is where I'll add all the patrons right there, but we don't have to do that right now. All right, and then we crossfade across a bunch of stuff. And the crossfade didn't happen in one place. So sometimes it does that, you just have to drop it in. I don't know why it does that, but it's somewhat annoying. But now it has all the transitions. See? Alright, So the next thing is, let's find some music. And I said that I would do that once we got to this point. So, time to do that. Let's go to my music folder. I get everything from Epidemic. Um, but normally I already have the music at hand, which I believe I do, which I think I'm going to go with funk. Now, what you're looking for is a song that has, you know, a, a lull and then a, big splash, so that splash happens at exactly this point right here. So it goes, tink, 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 and that's when the music really comes in. There's ways of doing it, without having that nice burst of music, but it's way better if it's already built into the music. I think I already used that one. That one's definitely getting used, but it's not going to be the, I don't think that's the, I don't think it has a big splash that I'm looking for. You can easily see it on a timeline when it, yeah, okay, well this actually has that. Not much of one though. So keep looking. Eh. I'm not liking any of those. See how I'm quickly going through all the music? It's so that I can find the stuff rather quickly. That might be it. Okay, you know what I'll do? So that I can keep track of all these, I'm going to just bring them all, the ones that work well, in here. In that little secondary one that I created. And that way, I can basically create the entirety of what I want. Is that really it? Oh, okay. Here's one with a lull. That might be it. It sounds like Grateful Dead. That will definitely work. Definitely not, Matthew, by the way. No, I have no plan on doing that. It could work too. So the helpful thing is I can, by doing this, I can set up all the background music for the entire video. Um, but also look at the sound of everything, which gives me a clue of like where there's an actual lull that will make for a good intro song. It's like it doesn't hit hard enough, you know? No, that doesn't work at all. I mean, if I was talking about Bob Dylan, sure, but I don't think that works. I like it, but I don't think it has yeah, it doesn't have anything. Then we have a whole bunch of vintage rock. Yeah, and all of those are going to sound the same, so they can just go here. Really, none of these have a good hit. Ooh, wait, I see a hit right there. Ah, that's perfect. Yep, that'll work. See, sometimes it really is that simple. Just finding something that works. It's good, because I was running out of funk music. And don't think there's anything else. Yeah. So that will go in here. And we'll set the music to that nice big kind of ramping up part to coincide with the logo coming together. See, watch. Perfect. See how nicely that came together? And then we have other songs to go that perfectly coincide with it over here. So, oops. We'll bring in this one to function at the beginning. Oh, that wasn't even short enough. There we go. And this is how I do all my background music, is I just find what works. And you kind of overlap them a bit. And this will be the only part where it's full volume, all the rest of it won't be, so that's why I just cut that. Actually, I just realized I should probably oops, that's too far. But I should cut out a bit of this intro, so I have a bit of variability right here where I can make this part last longer. But it would be better if we started right there, just for the sound's sake. Put that over there. No, go all the way. All the way. There we go. And now we can get all that. Let me change the volume. Oops. So you see these little constant power things. That's an audio transition that allows me to you know, transition between clips in terms of their volume. And I'm going to make the rest of these negative 30 decibels. So you'll barely be able to hear it in the background, but it is going to be there in the background, and you know, it makes the listening experience a little better.
Showing what proper civil disobedience looks like.
See? And that's how you do the audio. Now, I'm going to take all these clips, which will be the background music, and lower them by 30 decibels, and then we just want to go through and make sure that we're not leaving too much space. See how they don't exactly, and they leave a little bit of empty space at the end of each one, so just kind of make them overlap a little bit. There we go. That one cuts off real abruptly, so I think I'm gonna really overlap it. And you can see how much this overlapping makes a difference as you go along the line. You just don't want a bunch of blank space, because people will notice that. And the whole thing with background music is you don't want it to be noticeable. You want it to just sit there in the background. Alright, and that's all of them. And now we'll do that crossfade thing. It's what I just did with my keyboard commands, but you can see that it just did it added the crossfade right there. And then we just take it over to Chicago 7. That should be longer than the actual clip. Yes, it is. Just slightly overlap it. And then add the crossfade right here. What? Oh, okay. Forgot. There we go. Now it's a proper crossfade. Don't want it to abruptly cut out. And then we'll do a quick edit for the next thing, but I'll show you around the timeline. Since we're about 2 hours into this stream, and we'll and I've finally gotten to a good stopping place, but I need to first add in one last clip for this section right here to get it started. So hold on.
The 1968 Democratic National Convention was held in Chicago.
And we already have a perfect thing for that. That will be from the archives one. And that's where we'll come in on. Oh, yeah, just remembered this needs, this needs to be on a black background. There we go. All right, and now it should look great.
The 1968 Democratic National Convention was held in Chicago. The 1968 Democratic National Convention.
And this can lower its volume just slightly by 5. And we'll delete all this from clipping. So that's how I do background music, is that I get all the stuff right there all lined up in a row, and that's it. That's all it takes. You know, it just needs to fit the theme somewhat appropriately. So in 2 hours, although there's been a lot of just jibber jabbering, managed to cut in over a minute of footage and get the whole thing started. It always takes a little while to get it started. You know, all the things you have to bring in and import and all that kind of stuff. But you can see this is what we got in there.
Hey, Cypher here. The trial of the Chicago 7 had so much potential. The court transcript is replete with drama and easy to adapt. Yet this movie fails at it. I don't know what went wrong here, but it was a tremendous letdown. I've been trying to focus on good movies, but my patrons voted for this on Patreon. Honestly, I wish I could have just thrown it aside. When a 1987 made-for-TV movie outdoes this well-funded production, you know something is amiss. The true story is very compelling, because the 10 people on the defense team became martyrs for freedom of speech as a result of this trial. And not just the, I want to say slurs on people's platforms nonsense. No, the real kind of free speech, as in the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The Nixon administration tried to silence protesters, and they went to prison for it, like patriots. They turned the court into a circus because there was no other way to redress their grievances, showing what proper civil disobedience looks like. The 1968 Democratic National Convention was held in Chicago. The most contentious issue.
So, it's been 2 hours. I'm going to call it a night here. I think we got. I think I answered every question you guys had, right? Any further questions? Okay, USS Chicago. Tell you a fact. Well, did you know that in 1968 the most contentious issue in the election was the Vietnam War?
The most contentious issue at stake was the Vietnam War.
That's cheating. uh, um, but do you know what they and Tyler? I know you already know the answer to this, but the rest of chat, do you guys know what uh they were, what a lot of the main chant that they were chanting at the protest, the one that got quoted the most and repeated the most, and basically framed the entirety of opposition to the war. So no joke, the world is that, you know what, that could, yeah, that that one would work. I was thinking of a different one, a more fun one that has to do with with, you know, killing children. Oh no, we won't go. That's another one, but that one's more of a anti-draft chant. That's not really specific to the. There we go. Hey, hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today? Yeah, that they actually chanted that a lot. Um, in fact, it I need to find footage of it, but like I know plenty of the movies have it. And I might just show footage from the movies. But the fact is, it works perfectly. It explains so much. Um, so there's your fact for you. They actually chanted, "Hey, hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today?" So, are there any further questions before I call it a night? I take that as a no. Cheers. All right. Well, with that, you know, I still have some beer left. I think I'm gonna stream until I finish this beer. How about that? We'll just keep going along in the timeline. There is a frickin' gnat in here, and it is buzzing around my face. Ah! Think I got it. And it's starting to get hot. Alright, so we'll just continue on until I run out of beer. Get King to kill the gnat. King is sleeping. He is you know, King is just right there. Sleepy little guy. Little ball of fluff. But I think I might have killed it when I clapped.
In Chicago, the most contentious issue at stake was the Vietnam War.
And that's one where I can just show footage of the Vietnam War. So I think I already have brought in the 1960s thing. Yes. I should probably put this and that. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait a second. Was that Chicago? No, that was Watts. Come on, give me helicopters flying. Come on. Alright, I'm going to find better freaking Vietnam stuff. Luckily, I have this whole, this thing. Which is like a Vietnam War documentary. That's the footage I wanted. Look at that, that's perfect.
I mean, aside from
And I don't think it's... What is that? Oh, 150. Should be fine. No, need 151. More like 152. Because you want it to fill the screen.
Vietnam War. Incumbent President Lyndon B. Johnson.
And that I'll get footage from here.
Expand its independence. And I intend
refused to run for a second term over the controversy. After the assassinations of Martin Luther King and
I'm pretty sure they showed footage of that. Don't want to show. There we go.
Nation is thrown into grief.
After the assassinations of Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy.
Oh, really? They're gonna skip right over Bobby Kennedy's assassination? Of course. Nation of Robert Kennedy.
This is a CBS News special report.
4:30 New York time this afternoon, for burial at about 5:30 Saturday afternoon.
Requiem Mass for Senator Kennedy.
We can use this.
Senator Kennedy and them. His body will arrive here, Kennedy.
Contact. He refused police protection because he's the shy third brother of a dynamic family in these weeks of primary campaigning. The younger brother who had stayed behind the scenes and come into it himself. There was a good fight to fight, and he was a fighter. Ideals were at stake.
Reporter for the Mutual Broadcasting System, Andy West, was in the hallway, the kitchen hallway in the Ambassador Hotel.
60, come on.
The Ambassador Hotel, Los Angeles, on June 5th, 1968, headquarters for the Robert Kennedy.
We were going into a press conference. The shots shaking violently. On the ground, I knew that he wasn't going to live.
Everybody else, just please stay back.
Alright, that'll work. You'd be amazed how much footage you can find on YouTube if you know what you're looking for. Oh, I just realized something. I think that Vietnam War documentary has the stuff from the yeah, look, that's Chicago.
As the U.S. military presence continues to escalate, voluntary enlistments fail to keep pace, forcing the Army to increasingly depend on the draft. Fail to keep pace, forcing the Army
yeah, that's Chicago right there. Huh. That'll be useful. But we're looking at Kennedy's assassination.
As he turned
King and Bobby Kennedy, tensions between the anti-war movement and between
There we go.
the anti-war movement and the
There's more footage of the anti-war movement. I'm guessing here. There we go. That's good footage right there.
They opposed the draft, and the
Democratic forerunner, Hubert.
And now I have to go get all the deeds on Hubert Humphrey. Oh, come on. Give me a color photograph. Man, I hate it when frickin' Getty puts their stupid watermark on everything. Look at that. Look at that stupid watermark. Is that Hubert Humphrey? That doesn't... That must be a much older version of him. I'm gonna go with this one. And just cut off the stupid Getty BS. God, I hate Getty sometimes, man. They really do try to frickin' corner everybody's ability to use use historical photos. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it even meaner. I'm just gonna crop it. Ha ha! And then use their special tool to make it the perfect size. And that actually tries to get the right details for making it bigger. And boom. Now it's the perfect size. And then 1911 to 1978. Okay, I just got to move this to the other window. Oops. So I just have Wikipedia over on the other side, so I can just literally look over there and 1978. And then he was V. POTUS during Johnson, right? Yeah. 1965 to 1969. Isn't he like a senator or something like that as well? Yeah. Let's see here. From Minnesota. Wait. Oh, that's the abbreviation code for Montana. He's from Minnesota. What is the abbreviation code for Minnesota? Oh, it is MN. What's Montana then? MT. Okay. Okay. Anyways, abbreviation code for Minnesota, and he was there from 1949 to 64 and 1971 to 78. And then we make those slightly smaller. And there you go. Perfecto.
Hubert Humphrey were beyond boiling. Numerous protest groups, most prominent of which was the MOB.
Okay, what is the MOB? I'm forgetting the name. What? National Mobilization. Okay, there we go. It's so long a name. Guess this is probably the best one.
Yippies, the MOB. Numerous protest groups.
Actually, let's just have that go and whip across.
Most prominent of which was the MOB, Yippies.
Oh yeah, that's their actual that's their actual like flag. What? I could have sworn I got frickin' the 1280 version. How is that 1080? We'll animate that flapping. 2300 and pin left. And we'll... And, oh, that's why it looks like it's... It was the correct size. I just was forgetting that there was no background. We'll whip pan that in.
The MOB, Yippies, and Students for...
What does Yippee stand for again? Youth International Party. Although I should probably include a little blurb about the um, this one as well. And then
for a democratic society.
Students for a democratic society. And we'll see if we can find a better image than what they have there. I think that's too low of resolution. Well, that might work. Let's see if we can get something that is a little more time appropriate. Maybe if I just put an SDS. Now this is about the Chicago ride right here, so we'll use this. But I will edit it a bit, because that one is funky. So something that you can do with Photoshop is perspective warp. So you notice how this thing's kind of not in a proper perspective? Well, you can change that. You can force it into perspective. And then you just hit warp, turn it square. Boom. Now I can do a proper crop. See how well that works? And in fact, might sharpen it a bit too. Actually, no. Let's first embiggen it. Oops, too many. There we go. Now let's sharpen it. That looks a lot better.
Applied for permits to
Alright, now we'll whip pan everything. Oh, I should probably put SDS for short in the little footnote thing. I do try to cram these episodes with as much information as possible.
Democratic Society applied for permits to occupy the nearest park to the DNC.
As the U.S. military presence continues to escalate,
But Mayor Daley had accepted the DNC.
Yep, that needs to be 152.
The DNC, but Mayor Daley had expressly forbade
And then we're looking for Mayor. I don't remember how to spell his name. Daily, that's it. Guy, he looks mad. That's not actually him, is it? Is that actually him? I guess that's actually him. That's a hell of a picture right there. But it's only 640 pixels tall. I wonder if I can find a better version of it. Me. I can. I think. You see how I just drag and drop stuff, but it's not letting me find it. Come on. I want that picture. It's such a good one. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be that mean to him. I'll just use one of these other pictures. Although it would be real nice to get one of these ones where he's like scowling. And just look at that. In fact, I'm going to go search for that one. Hold on. Heading tiny URL. Or tiny E and tiny I is the one. Oh. I can only find that and that's small. That's unfortunate. And still get a 404. Great. Man, and the weird thing is there's so many pictures of this guy that he just looks different. Like that can't possibly be the same person, you know? It just doesn't look like him. Guy who was mayor of Chicago as late as 2011. Wait, wait, no, this is the wrong daily. This is okay. This is the wrong mayor daily. That's why there's so many different versions. I'm guessing that's like his father. I'm looking for Richard Daly. Ah, dang it. That's annoying. Richard J. Daly. God, that's not making it easy. That's why there were so many pictures that look different. This is Richard M. Daly, his son. That'll work. Okay. Then crop it a bit. Richard J. Daly, 1902 to 1976. Chicago Mayor, 1955 through 1976. Oops. 75.
Expressly forbade having them too close for fear of unrest, so they were denied.
escalate. Voluntary enlistments fail to keep pace, forcing the Army to increase.
The MOB tried to sue for permits. The MOB tried to sue for permits. Tried to sue for permits, but a judge denied them.
And there I will use some footage from Steal This Movie.
Dancing and chanting the mighty oath.
That's the Pentagon protest.
All decisions regarding permits must be made by the Parks and Recreation.
Okay, that was them getting denied, so that's perfect place to...
That didn't stop them.
So that one upsized by 150. And something I've been forgetting to do is that every time I first show a movie that isn't the movie in question, I'm supposed to have a little thing saying where it's from. So, oh, I actually show the little graphic for that. Okay, well. There we go.
Them. That didn't stop them. Thousands of protesters showed up and camped out. But a judge denied it. Too close for fear of unrest, so they were denied. The MOB tried to sue for permits.
Oh, and I think I just saw actual footage of Mailer Daily.
Founded on the fundamental principle that each one of us respects the
fear of unrest, so they were denied. The MOB tried to sue for permits, but a judge denied them. That didn't stop them. Thousands of protesters showed up and camped out. They marched all around the city, chanting things like, "Hey, hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today?"
Now that's one that I should probably find some footage, and I think the actual movie, I can just get the chant from the Trial of the Chicago 7 movie. So, great way to find stuff in the movie is by looking up its subtitles. And then you can just go and download the subtitles and it'll have like everything timestamped and everything. And this one's got the most, so we'll download that real quick. Open it up. Isn't it kids? Huh. I would have thought that chant would be in the movie. I could have sworn it was.
TV, and we'd watch the Vietnam.
Oh, that's terrible.
To the Vietnam War, on their way to the Pentagon. The crowd estimated at about 50,000, some 150 groups. First test of strength comes out, but clashes soon break out. Second wave of MPs with position. Others are injured and Pentagon side. The next nationwide demonstrations sitting in. It ends with over 600 made every.
Hello, Tim Gladiator. And I'm surprised I'm not finding this chant so easily. I know it. I've seen it in multiple movies, but I can't remember which one. Obviously not Trial of the Chicago 7 because it's not in the subtitles, unless I got the wrong subtitle. Um, let's try this one. See if we can find it in a movie that's man, I'm trying to think of one where I've seen that chant. Well, there's a postcard with that. Let's see if we can track down this postcard. You really not gonna let me save it as a frickin' whatever. That is annoying. Did not expect there to be this much trouble trying to find a protest chant. You know what? Screw it. I'll just show actual footage of the protest and call it good. Pretty sure there's footage of it in here? Yeah. There's actual footage, but that's not Chicago.
As a camera is Yippie's best friend.
Take democracy.
So let's go. Walk Shoy, ready? Walk Shoy, walk Shoy, walk Shoy.
If they're gonna
Okay, so that's actual footage, I think. Well, interspliced with not footage. Did we just get footage of them protesting? Why is it so hard to find footage of them protesting too? What the hell? 1968 Chicago protest. Sometimes that works. Oh yeah, we have that other piece of thing. This one.
50 years ago was a
Okay, it's showing all the violence, but that's not what I need right now. I need the protest, not the violence. This is from the Smithsonian.
Anti-war protesters also turn up.
Perfect. That's what I needed. And it's from the Smithsonian, so I don't have to worry about copyright.
$10,000 anti-war protesters also turn up.
Hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today? They'd have concerts and speeches. Numerous undercover officers
I think I'm gonna have
and police and National Guard circled these demonstrators.
officers spied on the proceedings. Daley ordered police to push the protesters out wherever they could.
The whole event became explosive. Protesters challenged the police clubbed the protesters.
And then this, I think, will be better if we use, when talking about the actual violence, we'll use this footage.
causing serious confrontations with hundreds of injuries. The footage of police savagely beating unarmed protesters
Come on, that can't be it. Alright, let's go to this one.
Police riot. Divisions, and remember how the country once looked when the whole world was watching.
Okay, and let's resize those clips.
injuries. The footage of police savagely beating unarmed protesters nearby the DNC was seriously harmful to the image of the party.
And then we'll show pieces of the convention.
Speeches, but perhaps this hour is the moment of truth.
That's much better one. That's showing delay. Have to put a black background behind that
With
one.
so much chaos, not just in terms
no, I don't.
of what happened in Chicago, not just chaos, seriously harmful to the image of the party. With so much chaos, not just in terms of what happened in Chicago,
Off down Balboa Street, and the crowd is into Grant Park.
but the entire election,
and that's kind of a reference to a previous episode, so no, let's not. Let's just show some footage from the actual election.
Same man Jack Kennedy defeated in 1960, Richard Nixon.
the entire election season, Republican Richard Nixon won, despite William Wallace taking
And then we'll put a little graphic of the election. But first, got to resize the clips.
Chicago, but the
Alright, and now I have to show the 1968 election. I don't really like that graphic. I don't think that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that's fine. I just can't use the water background. I have to use white.
William Wallace taking much of the Southern vote he'd been angling for. He'd been angling for.
Okay, that's one that I'm definitely referencing my Hardy Switch episode. Oops. And then just have to bevel the edges of that to show that, and then I'll even include a little note saying spoke of the Southern strategy in this episode. It's kind of too small, so jack up this size of that a little bit. Center.
Been angling for.
Oops. And not position. Don't need position. Need scale. There we go.
For. Before Nixon could take office.
Do I not? Of course, I have to find separate footage of the Nixon inauguration.
Senator Dirksen, Mr. Chief Justice, transfer of power.
Is that really the best we have of that? Okay, this should be better.
That beloved minister evangelist,
good.
known in all corners of the earth,
Download as a
now
720 file. There we go. Finally got to the bottom of that glass. Took me a while.
You, Richard Milhouse Nixon.
The Department of Justice.
All right. So, I think that's a good. I think that's far enough. Got about maybe a quarter into this. That's 3 minutes out of 17 minutes. So what would that be? 17 divided by 3 is a little under a uh, it's about a sixth of the way through. So I managed to get a sixth of the way through after having only started was that 3 hours ago? So probably going to take me another um uh 3 times no, but I gotta subtract like an hour because of futzing around in the beginning. So probably another 12 hours to edit the rest of this. Generally, I expect about an hour of editing per a minute produced. So that's uh, that's how long it's taken 3 hours to get through 3 minutes. So yeah, that equation came out pretty well actually, despite futzing around in the beginning. So yeah, it's about an hour produced. It's gonna take another um, 12 to 14 hours of editing to complete this thing. Um, but it will be up um, on Patreon for people to view once it's once I get done with it and have a rough cut, exported and put up on YouTube. So be sure to check that out if you haven't. You know the the link is in the chat or in in my various socials and all that. In fact, I think I can just go uh like P? Is that? Yep, there we go. That's how you can see stuff on Patreon. There's also going to be you know I will you know talk about any further streams in that coming up. Definitely we'll have one on Wednesday. But to keep apprised of all that, be sure to check out my Twitter. All right. So, um, for the few of you who are left, I will see y'all. I will be back here on Wednesday. So, hopefully, I'll see you all then. Bye, everybody.